Urgent Cleveland Browns fans. Do not miss this. What just happened? You won't believe this one. But before we reveal the big news, make sure to subscribe to the channel, because here, we bring you daily videos with the latest Cleveland Browns updates. And to not miss anything, activate the notifications. Hey, Browns fans, I hope you're sitting down because, honestly, the latest updates coming out of Berea are nothing short of a roller coaster. The offseason has been in full swing, with teams across the league trying to gear up for what promises to be an exciting 2024 season. But for Cleveland, things took a bit of a sour turn recently, and I know many of you are eager to get all the details. So, let's dive into what's happening with your Cleveland Browns. First, you've probably heard the news, but it's worth emphasizing just how impactful it is. During the organized team activities, those voluntary workouts that teams conduct in the spring, something unfortunate happened to Nick Chubb. Now, for those of you who don't know, Nick Chubb isn't just a running back, he's the cornerstone of Cleveland's ground game. The guy is a fan favorite for a reason. He's known for his powerful running style, his ability to break tackles, and his explosiveness that's turned many games on their heads. He's been a model of consistency, a true workhorse, and a leader both on and off the field. So, naturally, when news broke that Chubb suffered an injury during these OTAs, everyone's hearts sank a little. According to sources close to the Browns, Chubb experienced some kind of injury that now requires further medical evaluation. The specifics aren't fully clear yet, whether it's a minor strain, a sprain, or something more severe. Those details will come after thorough assessments. But the fact that he's already undergoing additional tests suggests that the team and medical staff are taking this seriously. And for Browns fans, that's always a cause for concern, especially when it involves a player of Chubb's caliber. Now, let's put this into perspective. The Browns have been building around their running game for a few years now, and Chubb has been at the center of that effort. Since he entered the league, he's been one of the most consistent and reliable backs in the NFL. Remember, he's rushed for over 500 yards in multiple seasons, and he's scored numerous touchdowns that have often been the difference in tight games. His ability to run downhill, combined with his vision and patience, makes him a nightmare for defenses. And let's not forget his agility and balance, traits that help him break through tackles and extend plays when it looks like there's nowhere to go. Losing Chubb, even temporarily, is a significant blow to Cleveland's offensive identity. It's not just about losing yards or touchdowns, it's about the rhythm and the trust that the coaching staff has in that ground game. When Chubb is healthy and firing on all cylinders, defenses have to respect the run, which opens up opportunities for the passing game, especially for a quarterback like Deshaun Watson if he's fully recovered and ready to lead. But if Chubb is sidelined for any extended period, the Browns will need to adapt quickly. That might mean relying more on Kareem Hunt, who's been a solid backup and a versatile option, or giving more carries to players like Jerome Ford, a young back with promising potential. And speaking of injuries, the Browns are also dealing with other setbacks. Odell Beckham Jr., that dynamic wide receiver who was brought in last season to give Cleveland's offense a real spark, is still not 100% recovered from his knee injury. Beckham's presence on the field is crucial because he brings that explosive playmaking ability that defenses have to game plan for. His route running, his ability to make contested catches, and his experience are all invaluable. But despite his return to practice, reports indicate that Beckham is still working his way back, and his level of full strength remains uncertain as we head into the offseason. Now, imagine a scenario where both Chubb and Beckham are not at 100% when the season kicks off. That's a tough pill to swallow for Browns fans who are hopeful that this team can make a real push in 2024. But the good news, at least from the perspective of the coaching staff and the players, is that Cleveland's roster is deep. They've brought in some promising young talent during the draft, and the team continues to develop its existing players. Kevin Stefanski, the head coach, remains optimistic. He's known for his steady leadership and ability to get his team ready to compete, even when facing adversity. In fact, Stefanski has emphasized that the team is more than just the stars. It's about the collective effort, the depth, and the resilience of the roster. He's been praising the work ethic of the entire squad during these off-season workouts, and he's confident that Cleveland can overcome these challenges. Still, it's natural for fans to worry. How will the offense look without Chubb's power and consistency? How will Watson adjust if Beckham isn't fully integrated early on? These questions are on everyone's mind, but the team's focus right now is on recovery and preparation. Let's talk a bit about the broader context. The Browns have been building towards something special over the last few seasons. They've made strategic moves in free agency, drafted promising young players, and invested heavily in their coaching staff. The goal has always been to become a playoff contender and eventually contend for a Super Bowl. And while injuries are part of the game, unfortunately, they're a harsh reality. Cleveland's management and fanbase remain committed to the long-term vision. The franchise's recent history has been a roller coaster, to say the least. We remember the struggles in the early 2010s, the coaching changes, the quarterback carousel, and the near misses that left fans frustrated but still hopeful. But the last couple of seasons, especially with Deshaun Watson's arrival, signaled a new chapter. There was genuine excitement about the potential of this team, about finally having a franchise quarterback who could elevate their game. And now, with injuries to key players like Chubb and Beckham, it's a test of that resilience, of that mental toughness that Browns teams are known for. Historically, the Browns have had their moments of greatness. Remember the 1980s with historic players like Bernie Kosar and the legendary playoff runs? Or more recently, the 2010s when they finally broke a long playoff drought? These moments are what keep the fanbase energized, and they remind everyone that adversity is just part of the journey. The key now is how Cleveland's squad responds to these setbacks. Will the backup step up? Will the coaching staff adjust their game plan to maximize the talent that's available? That's what everyone's eager to see unfold. Looking ahead, the Browns' schedule will be critical. The NFL schedule is a grueling test for any team, and early games can set the tone for the season. With uncertainties around key players, Cleveland's focus in the offseason will be on developing chemistry, improving their depth, and ensuring that the team remains competitive regardless of injuries. The front office and coaching staff are already working on Plan B, Plan C, and even Plan D, creating contingency strategies for different scenarios. It's all about preparing for the unpredictable nature of football. Fans are also keeping a close eye on the upcoming training camp. That's where the real battles will happen: who steps up and earns their spot, how the young players develop, and how the team gels together. The Browns have a talented roster, and despite these injury setbacks, there's a lot of optimism. Players like Myles Garrett, one of the league's premier pass rushers, continue to be a dominant force on defense. Garrett's leadership and relentless motor inspire the entire team, and he's someone who can change games single-handedly. His presence on the field is always a reassurance for Browns fans, especially in tough times. And speaking of defense, Cleveland's defensive unit has been steadily improving. With players like Denzel Ward, Grant Delpit, and Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, the Browns have a talented core that can keep them in games even if the offense faces setbacks. The defense's ability to create turnovers and pressure the quarterback will be crucial as they try to compensate for any offensive struggles. Now, let's not forget the importance of the fans in all of this. Browns fans are some of the most passionate in the league. The history, the ups and downs, the loyalty, it's all part of the fabric of this franchise. As the offseason continues, your support is what keeps the team motivated. The players hear the chants, see the signs, and feel the energy of the dog pound. That kind of passion fuels their drive to succeed, even when faced with adversity like injuries. So, what's next? Well, the Browns are going to continue their meticulous approach, evaluating players, adjusting schemes, and focusing on conditioning and recovery. The medical teams are working tirelessly to get Chubb and Beckham back to full health, and fans are holding their breath, hoping for good news in the coming weeks. The NFL season is still a few months away, but every day counts in preparing this team for the battles ahead. This is what makes being a Browns fan so special: there's hope, resilience, and a belief that better days are ahead. The team's future might hinge on how well they adapt to these early setbacks, but one thing's for sure: Cleveland is not backing down. The city's spirit is unbreakable, and the players are determined to give everything they've got when the season finally kicks off. Pause here, just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Cleveland Browns news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick, and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now, let's continue with the big reveal. As we look ahead, the optimism remains, even with these hurdles. The Browns have shown resilience before, and they have the talent and the leadership to bounce back. The coaching staff's experience and the veteran presence of players like Garrett and others will be vital in navigating this tough period. And don't forget, Cleveland's front office has a history of making smart moves, whether it's through the draft or free agency, to keep the team competitive. The hope is that both Chubb and Beckham Jr. will recover in time to make a significant impact during the season. And I know, as fans, you're dreaming of that moment when everything clicks, the offense clicking, the defense stepping up, and Cleveland finally returning to the playoffs with a real shot at contending. That's what drives us all, those moments of glory, the heartbreaks, and the relentless hope that the next game, the next season, will be the one that turns everything around. Cleveland Browns fans, your loyalty has always been unmatched, and your team spirit remains unbreakable. So, as we stay tuned for updates in the coming weeks, remember that this is just a chapter in the long, storied history of the Browns. Injuries are a part of football, and every team faces adversity at some point. The key is how they respond, how they adapt, and how they come out stronger on the other side. And let's be honest, that's what makes this team and this fanbase so special. Cleveland isn't just a team, it's a family, a community built on resilience, passion, and hope. And now, Cleveland Browns fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Browns. Do you believe in the team's ability to overcome these setbacks? Which players do you think will step up in Chubb's absence or help fill the void left by Beckham? And what are your expectations for the upcoming season? I'd love to hear all of your thoughts. Remember, we're in this together, supporting our team through thick and thin. I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Cleveland Browns news. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Browns!